respect, I just slaughter. Don't be bothered, watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down. You die, I get paid, more cash, surviving this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? You die, I get paid, more cash, surviving this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Jack, he's a psychomaniac, that's right, it's death on sight. It don't matter who's wrong or right, I just might catch you slipping. Getting paid is my intuition and my ambition. It's the rest of the city in the siege, more death, more cheese. Gotta get the paper, reach Jamaica, and these boss I'm the undertaker. And ain't no shortage, I can't be laid off. In fact, rest in chaos. You die, I get paid, more cash, surviving this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? You die, I get paid, more cash, surviving this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Look around, tell me what do you see? A lunatic now, get like me. It's a rap by the count of three, and it's all being filmed on Shock TV. Yeah, it's me, I'ma do my best to rip to your chest, mangle your flesh, dangle your neck, fatten my check. I don't really care if I got your respect, I just slaughter. Don't be bothered, watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down.
How's it going, guys? We are back with Deputy Zane, a build from a while back that I finally got around to updating to a very new level cap and a very new end game. The new purple skill tree really enhances what this build can do. It's still not top tier, it still has struggles, bossing, takedowns, but it's doable. With this save, I do have everything that you need to do all endgame content, even if it's not all Jacob's. But, yeah, the save file will be in the description, so let's get on with going over this build. So, blue tree setup. It's pretty basic. Really, the only thing that has, like, a specific use is cold bore. This is really good for chaining overkill. You can get used to firing, swapping back really fast, firing, swapping back, firing. We do use action still end, so you do want to make sure you have a charge of cannon so that you can get that back up, but that'll be your max damage combo on these one-shots up until you get overkill really starting to stack up. Then you don't need to worry about it as much. The rest of the tree is pretty generic. There's nothing really to talk about. 5 across the board up top, 1 into salvation, usual, 1 insane red, huge skill pickup, death follows close, also very important. You don't need this much into good misfortune. This is just what my class mod itself rolled with. You usually only have about one or 2 points. I like 2. It helps keep it up a little bit easier. I believe I got 3 points into playing dirty again. You do not need this much. It's just a class mod thing. I would go through and actually change this. But I use a couple different class mods with the save. So I don't want to change it every time I swap. But yeah, you only really need about 3 or 4 points into this, 1 into this, and 2 into here for reload and fire rate. Very useful for Jacob's weaponry. Onto the purple tree. It's also a pretty generic setup. Deja vu, it helps you not have to reload as much as you're chaining kills over and over. The crit damage, very, very important. This skill is huge, huge, huge for this build. This gives you so much extra damage, especially when you're in fight for your life, which this build does actually excel at getting Zane out of, which is one of his weak points. Commitment, easy pickup, no-brainer. Fugitive, this can get you some really, really crisp clips. Looks real nice when you're running around and popping heads. Domino effect, again, reload fire rate, very important. Sheer will, it's a good skill if you're having troubles keeping up your cannon charges, but it's not very needed. You can just manage it yourself. Eraser, absolutely killer. If you can actually set up a chain, which this build is good at with the little shield tech that we got, that is going to be popping a lot. And Our Man Flint, also very easy, scoping in with sniper rifles, aiming down sights. It's just an easy to get damage boost. You're going to be doing a lot of ADSing anyways. So on to Green Tree, there's really nothing special here. This is more of a personal thing. I like having all-rounder. It makes me feel safe, so I want it. You don't need to go into this tree at all if you don't want to, if there's other skills that you think deserve the points more. But I like having Brain Freeze. It helps, so if I don't have an action skill to get my Frozen Snowshoe procced, then I can just shoot them in the head a couple times and they'll freeze either way. And the Orange Tree, Praemunitus, it helps with Jacob's weapons, small mags. This will just keep you from reloading all the time. Borrowed Time, it's a decent skill. It helps you keep your shield up more, which is pretty important. If that goes down, you may die. And Donnybrook, this just helps with health regen, a little bit of gun damage. And Duct Tape Mod can also be picked up here if you're finding that you are killing yourself with your splash weapons. Really, the only reason that we're speccing into here is because there's not really any better pickups anywhere else. So, as for the items, the most important thing is your shield. The Frozen Snowshoe is what, really makes mobbing easy. Without this, you lose out on a lot of crowd control, a lot of setup for your headshots, but with it, it's just smooth sailing right on through. The Executor gives you a shit ton of damage. It's just probably Zane's best in slot class mod for all around everything. I've got a couple rolls on it. Weapon crit is very important. This one has sniper damage. I have another one with pistol and another with splash. Sadly, I don't have a god roll, but really these are the sort of rolls that you're looking for. Crit and splash are really good, and then with a specific weapon type, you can get the most damage out of this. The Relic has quite a few options. I prefer the Icebreaker Victory Rush just because of the synergy with Frozen Snowshoe. But the Toboggan and the Company Man are really good for bossing, but you can also use them for mobbing if that's just what you prefer. As for actual guns, really the anointment you're looking for is ASE, just because of how it works with cannon. You can keep them up pretty much indefinitely, and Cryo, for obvious reasons, synergizes well with the Icebreaker. Although, really, you can do a different element and swap it out specific to the scenario that you need. As for specifics, the Headsplosion is definitely one of my favorite weapons to use with this build, and the Moonfire, even though it's not really a Jacobs, it's kind of just a better hand cannon than the Unforgiven, although both work really, really well. The Headsplosion is amazing for room clearing, along with the Bird of Prey, which is also a very fun sniper, Stallmasher, and the Ionic Disruptor are a few of my other favorite sniper rifles to use. They just feel really good, and they can absolutely nuke an entire room. As for shotguns, you really only have 3 options if you want to stick with the Jacobs. The Robinstall, the Garcia, and the Hellwalker, all of which are very good. With the Hellwalker, I would recommend not going for the ASE just because you run through 2 mags very, very quick on it. So, the kill stack or consecutive hits I do think is probably better. Now, this build can boss, but you do want to swamp things up a little bit. Instead of the Snowshoe, because you're not going to get much out of it in a boss fight, you'll want the Revolter just to get that extra damage. And then again, you'll definitely want to switch over to a Toboggan or a Company Man just for the more damage. You're not really going to be proccing on the Icebreaker on many different bosses. And yeah, that about does it. That's the build. I hope you guys have fun with it. Enjoy. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow my Twitch, because I will be going live right after this video does. So if you're one of like the 2, maybe 3 people that somehow sees this, hey, stop on by. Yeah, see you.